folks, welcome back. So today we're going to head back out in Erie for some walleye fishing. The main concentration of walleye are starting to migrate from the western basin into the central basin, which is good for us because that's where we're going to be fishing. We have a really good southwest wind out there. It's supposed to swirl around to the northwest today, so we're going to have a really good drift. Now the wave report said 1 to 2 footers, possible 3s. There's going to be a lot of boat traffic out there because a lot of people have been waiting a long time for these walleye to come back in. So we're going to be drifting today with crawler harnesses, but I want to show you my setup that I'm using here to help you be more effective at catching these walleyes out there. I'm actually using my bait caster today. I really like using my bait caster while I'm drifting for walleye, or if I'm doing some vertical jigging or something like that, or even some drop shotting out there. Believe it or not, I've drop shot for walleye and caught them. So what I use on this is, my duo lock snap, with my barrel swivel on there. I use Dr. Fish brand. I'll leave a link in the description below so that you can check these out and pick some up for yourself. I prefer to make them myself just because it's the type of fisherman I am. Now they sell them already together, which is just fine. They're actually very reasonably priced. Now, they used to be quite expensive for really good barrel swivels and dual lock snaps, but seeing as how it's gaining more popularity, the price is starting to come down, and they won't break the bank. I'm also using a 3/4 ounce egg sinker. Now, I want to use this egg sinker because we could be fishing variable depths. Now, they make a few other versions of weights that I use that they work for different situations. The other kind of weight that they have available is this Lindy no snag rig, with this little pin on the end and the shape of it. You hook everything onto this little eyelet right here. So you hook your duo lock snap up to there, then you would run your bait off of here. So this will just tick along the bottom. If they're on the bottom real heavy, we may use something like this because we have clusters of zebra mussels down there on the bottom, and you will get snagged up, and eventually it'll fray your line here, and you won't pay attention. You'll get a big fish, and you'll break off because it'll be so exciting, and you won't know what to do. Another version that they make here is this inline weight with some barrel swivels on the end. Now, I usually don't use these just because these barrel swivels don't have a wire that run through this lead. They're just kind of held in there. So after a while spinning and everything, I've lost fish on these because they popped off. They've just popped right out of the end of the weight. So I will actually set up more swivels on each end of this because I really don't care about the hardware that's in here. I just want it to not twist on me. Twist line is the worst. So this is another variation of an inline weight that you can use to get yourself down there. These do work rather well, but these ones are the cheapy ones, I think. I picked them up, I forget, $1 a piece or something like that years ago. That's why I still have them, because I broke off one fish because it's popped out. They're in my box for emergency purposes. So the next one that we're going to talk about here is the same kind of weight, but it has a longer lead or a longer wire going through the lead here. This actually goes all the way through. You'll hook your main line onto here, and then you'll hook your crawler harness or whatever onto here. Now it comes with this little cheapy brass swivel, and most times if I'm using these a lot, I'll bend this out and I'll put my own swivel and my own dual lock snap on here, so I won't have to have so much hardware. But it doesn't really matter to me because this stuff lays out nice, it spins nice. I like to double up on stuff. And then you'll just run your crawler harness off of here, and this is made for super rocky terrain, so that way it will just tick across the bottom and it won't get snagged up, versus this sometimes will get snagged up depending on how deep you're fishing and what the cover looks like on the bottom. If it's a very rocky and you've got big gaps in the rocks, if you're ticking this, it'll catch in between the V, and that will be that. This one here is a lot better for that if you're fishing a very rocky terrain. So let me show you here. I think we're going to, let's see what we got here. Pool noodles. Remember, man, comment on this, and I'll show you how to make these. So, some of you already know how to make them. Some of you have no idea, and you purchased the ones from the store. So, let me show you here. Of course, I have my Colorado blade because I really prefer using the Colorado blade for a slower drift or for just drifting in general. Because when you use a willow leaf blade or a smaller Colorado blade, it won't spin as fast, and this here gives a nice thump under the water, a nice vibration. And once again, I'm using a wingspan of leader, 40-pound mono, Seagar, you know, with my little barrel swivel up there from Dr. Fish. And then what we'll do is I'll just hook this right onto my Duo lock snap here. And you can see I actually have 2 barrel swivels there. Like I said, do not like line twists. It's the worst. It messes with your line, it'll mess with your head, and it'll mess with your fishing. So that's our setup right there. We just have our wingspan of leader to our crawler harness here, and that is perfect for catching walleye out in Lake Erie drifting. So let's get out there. We're waiting on Angie to get here, so I figured I might as well do this little quick intro video here so we can get right out there. Now, don't forget, never stop fishing. And follow me, let's catch some walleye.